Hello everyone, this is Fantasy-esque and welcome back to Vampire Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we got ourselves a new vampire initiate, well, half initiate, basically a kitty pet named Crunchy wandered onto vampire lands, was chased out by Grandmaster Shivering Star, and then somehow found his way back, came into contact with our initiates that are living outside the ruins, and somehow managed to get convinced that maybe he wants to become a half initiate, neither here nor there. Sometimes back with his two legs, sometimes in the ruins. Well, not in the ruins, around the ruins. In hopes of becoming chosen by these elusive and slightly terrifying vampires. And we also had Alpor recover from her sickness and actually have a thriving time out during patrols, but also in terms of rankings, she is currently at the top. But it is their 10th moon as apprentices, which, I should say it's their 10th moon in life, and they are in their second last moon of becoming apprentices. But let's go ahead and continue with these guys, see what they get up to today. It is moon 27, and we are in Greenleaf, actually. So we have left New Leaf behind. Okay. So before we do this, the leader's den. Right, so obviously we couldn't stay allies long, right? And we'll find out why in a second. But we have hostilities with Gosma Clan yet again, and obviously the one with Wind Clan. But let's find out why exactly our ally of One Moon is no longer an ally. A medicine cat from Day Clan comes to Vampire Clan asking for lungwort to heal a case of yellow cough. And we know how deadly those can be. However, Vampire Clan hardly has enough for their own clan and so refuses. So basically, our newly made allies came to us asking for lungwort to help a very deadly sickness in their clan, like amongst their hunters. And we just straight up refused to give them whatever we had. And I checked, we only have one lungwort. And I'm sure the vampires, no matter how much of an ally we become with the hunters, feel as though if we were in this position, the hunters definitely wouldn't give us their last piece of lungwort. And a cat in our clan, a vampire, could use this if, they go ahead and get sick as well. So, yeah, our clan members were not willing to give that, and that's how we basically lost the alliance we had with them. And then Blue Jay has gotten Fleas. I don't know what it is about Blue Jay. I feel like she's a magnet for these kind of things. Like for sicknesses that happened, for, infections or injuries, she seems to be a magnet. Like now Honey has gotten Fleas. Like, come on, Blue Jay. What is up with this? I just hope she doesn't spread it. I don't think she will, but seriously, I hope she doesn't spread it. Thankfully, though, those fleas are definitely not going to keep her from going out on patrol and participating in clan life, which is good. Let's check the medicine cat den. We lost... How did we lose lungwort? We didn't even give it to them. I feel like our vampires would have used it out of spite. Who knows? Hazelpelt gathered goldenrod, juniper, oak leaves, and mallow this moon, so he got a whole bunch of things. Let's check out relationships. Blue Jay had a spat with Hazelpelt over a piece of prey on the fresh kill pile. Master Burnleaf tries to do something like his son Sunnypaw, but just ends up getting embarrassed. This is the second time I have noticed that Burnleaf is not getting along well with his son. The first time around was in the last episode, I think, where he was jealous of his son, and now, again, he's trying to do something, it's not working out. This might go into some more jealousy, but this is not nice to see. He gets along wonderfully with his daughters, but not with his son. Master Burnleaf saw Firepaw cough up a hairball. Okay, apparently he's not getting along too well with any of his children. Maybe he's in a mood. Master Burnleaf is prancing around in front of Hazelpelt. Hold on a second. I feel like Burnleaf. What in the love triangle is going on? Because if I'm not mistaken, Burnleaf had something with Twilight Fade. And then Twilight Fade started liking Hazelpelt while whispering for Hazelpelt and for Quiet Flight. And I'm sure Twilight Fade is happy for the two of them and their union, but I don't know what it is about cats, specifically male cats falling in love, but it gets Twilight Fade in the feels. But anyways, we had that. And now apparently, even though the romance between Burnleaf and Twilight Fade has been fading more than burning, Burnleaf is now prancing around in front of Hazelpelt? Burnleaf. My dude, what's going on? What is going on with you? Twilight Fade and Hazelpelt are assigned the same task. Twilight Fade and Lightsong always challenge one another. So some more of Twilight Fade and his former fledgling spending time with one another and getting along very, very well. Grandmaster Shivering Star comes up with a plan to sneak out of camp with his daughter Dusty Cave. Oh, I love that. That's so nice. Some father-daughter bonding. And you know what? I know Dusty Cave was not Shivering Star's favorite daughter. His favorite daughter died, unfortunately, in one of the wars when she was only, I think, 1 or 2 moons old. And Dusty Cave, she worked very hard trying to live up to her father's expectations. But it is very nice to see that she has indeed accomplished that. And that it has brought her and Shivering Star together. I love it. The whole clan notices how close Grandmaster Shivering Star and Hazelpelt are lately. Lightsong and Dusty Cave find out they have nice conversations when they aren't bickering. Okay, but their bickering is probably friendly, between the two of them. Just like bantering, friendly banter. But that's good to see, so their friendship is blossoming quite a bit, which no doubt makes Dusty Cave very happy. Quiet Flight chats with Twilight Fade about his day. Oh, look at that. This makes me so happy as well. Twilight Fade with his former fledglings. Just because I don't feel like we see a lot of mentors in general have like this good of a relationship between their fledglings or with their fledglings. I mean, granted, aside from Twilight Fade, the only other one we have an example of is Shivering Star with his daughter. But again, that's a separate relationship because they're related by blood. Whereas Twilight Fade is not. But he's managed to still stay like the cool mentor for these youngsters who are talking with him about things even into adulthood. Quiet Flight gets a bunch of cats out for morning stretches. They don't like it. Shivering Star, Grandmaster Shivering Star, points out to Hazelpelt that a spider is in his nest before he sits in it. Hazelpelt and Lightsong debate about something interesting. Though they disagree, they stay amicable. Master Burnleaf goes out of his way to help Dusty Cave with something without being asked. Alpor poses a crazy theory to Hazelpelt and they chat about it for quite a while. Sunnypaw goes to tell a secret to Firepaw, only for Firepaw to tell someone else's secret to him. Okay, he's not getting along too well with his sister either. Firepaw is hurt by one of Hazelpelt's pranks, but Hazelpelt doesn't seem to believe her. And that is all we have for events, so let me cut the recording here and we'll catch up in the cats list. Okay, let us continue with the cat list, where we do have some things to talk about, guys. So first up, we have loyalties, where there have been a few changes. So, we actually had Hazelpelt, Bluejay, and Sunnypaw become loyalists of Shivering Star. So first up with Hazelpelt, I think for him, this comes down to Shivering Star probably refusing to give the very few bits of lungwort we had to the vampire hunters, even though Shivering Star maybe went against the clan a little bit to give them, the blood and bones of vampires for the elixirs of the hunters. He drew the line when it came to their lungwort, and as the Nightstalker who has to find said lungwort, I think Hazelpelt felt as though Shivering Star kind of took his side on that, and he appreciates it, so that's why he's become a loyalist. I think with Bluejay probably has a lot to do with the same thing, because Bluejay, she's been sick lately a lot, or she's been in the medicine den constantly, and she's one of the cats who ends up needing a lot of these resources. So Shivering Star refusing to give the hunters their herbs, their very precious herbs, was kind of a sign that he cares about the well-being of the cats. And whatever Bluejay thinks about him, however he's acted towards her in the past regarding, not being a participating Mistwalker if she's constantly sick, at least he cares enough that he's not going to take away the medicine needed for her. So I think that gained her loyalty. And then we have Sunnypaw. We've noticed recently that Sunnypaw has been working very hard. Despite the, I think, gap between him and Shivering Star, he has managed to somehow surpass his sister Firepaw and end up in the middle. And he was really close to Alpaw when we checked in the last episode in terms of rankings. So I think that has maybe grown a little bit of confidence in Sunnypaw. And for that reason, he feels as though, okay, maybe I didn't start off on the best foot, but obviously Shivering Star, when we both put our minds to it, is capable of, pulling me up and bringing out my potential. So I think that is why Sunnypaw has become a loyalist once more. And then we have relationships, where I did notice a few things. The first thing was with Burnleaf. Burnleaf, guys, has had some romance game for Hazelpelt, and we saw him prancing around in front of Hazelpelt, and I was wondering, where the heck is this coming from? Guys, I think this has been brewing a little bit in the background, because Burnleaf actually stumbled upon Hazelpelt looking at the stars with wonder in his eyes, and then he was kind of surprised to hear that Hazelpelt kind of shared the same ideals with him. And I think these little things he's noticed about Hazelpelt has resulted in Burnleaf kind of forming a very unique opinion, or I think a very dreamy opinion of Hazelpelt. That, coupled with the fact that whenever something does go wrong with, Bluejay and stuff, or any of the other cats, Burnleaf's own children, it's Hazelpelt is looking after them and helping get them back to full health, and he has not failed even once. So I can see why he would maybe start having feelings for Hazelpelt. The next cat I noticed things with was Hazelpelt himself. And this was kind of surprising, but Hazelpelt, guys, he hates Bluejay. He hates Bluejay. He is now enemies with Bluejay, and I was so surprised. I did not see this coming at all. I think what it comes down to, they had a spat, actually, I think this episode, over some prey, some fresh kill or some prey. They had a spat over that, and I think Hazelpelt, I think Bluejay ended up getting it in the end, and I think Hazelpelt felt as though that was a little bit rude of Bluejay, given that he's the one constantly looking after her when she's always in the medicine cat den, and she doesn't have the courtesy to at least give in when it comes to, certain bits of food they have in the camp. So it probably came from him maybe feeling as though she's kind of using his services, but she's acting a little bit maybe ungrateful or entitled. So I think, Bluejay, she's charismatic. Maybe she's used to charming her way out of everything, but Hazelpelt was not charmed in the slightest, and he did not appreciate her behavior. So he sees her as an ungrateful cat, I think. And finally, I noticed a difference with Bluejay. There we go. So we're going from one cat to another. They're all linked. They're all linked in one way. So Bluejay. Now, Bluejay, funnily enough, had a bit of a romance game with Quiet Flight. And I was, again, wondering, where's this coming from? Because everything has been friendly from Quiet Flight's end. I think, guys, Bluejay is once more becoming the victim of a misunderstanding, because Quiet Flight has not made any moves to have a litter with Hazelpelt, even though they've been getting along, and it's been so many moons since they've gotten together. I think Bluejay is taking that as an indication that Quiet Flight is not that invested in her relationship with Hazelpelt, and that maybe it is because of the feelings she might have for Bluejay. So Bluejay, I think, is looking at Quiet Flight with renewed interest. I think that's what this is. Now, obviously, from what we've seen and observed of Quiet Flight's behavior, that is not entirely the case. She's merely enjoying her time alone with Hazelpelt before starting a family. I feel like a family would definitely be on her mind, but she's not going to rush herself. But I think Bluejay, who wants some companionship, is misunderstanding her choice, because Bluejay didn't wait too long for having her own litter, And that is all I had for relationships. Okay, now let's head to Twilight Fade and have Hazelpelt and Quiet Flight listen to the whispers, even though literally there's barely anything we can do anymore for them because they are absolutely and utterly in love with one another. But we shall try. So comfort, respect, trust, romance increased and platonic like, and then dislike decreased, so they had a wonderful time chatting with each other as usual. I feel like this has just become like them going down into the ruins, hanging out with the Twilight Fade and having these very, very interesting and exciting discussions with each other. It's almost like a tea session, I feel, at this point, between the three cats, and it's become like part of their routine, and they love this routine, and Twilight Fade feels so involved, and it's wonderful. It's a happy time for all three cats involved, and I feel like they're gonna miss it very much once they do like start having a family of their own, because obviously they're not going to continue doing that, right? That ritual that they have now is going to end. But okay, let's see what everyone's doing for the day. Grandmaster Shivering Star saw a kitty pet rolling around a two-legged garden. Master Burnleaf is feeling a bit anxious after having been around so many cats at the last gathering, so I suppose he and the Grandmaster snuck off to listen in or eavesdrop on the hunters and their secret private gathering. Hazelpelt is thinking about a strange two-legged object he saw recently. Twilight Fade is debating swimming to cool down. Blue Jay can't get anything done with his heat. Quiet Flight daydreams about being a warrior in Lion Clan. Light Song complains about being sent on dusk patrol. Dusty Cave is wondering what living with two legs must be like. Alpo is spending a considerate amount of time grooming. Sunnypaw cowers in his nest during a particularly rough storm. Firepaw gets dragged out of her nest for an all-day out-of-camp training session. Look at that. I think Lightsong was not happy that Firepaw was lagging behind in the last moon, so she was, I think she's trying to put in some extra effort into making sure that Burnleaf has absolutely no excuses to look down on her. Okay, well hold on a second, actually, the rankings, I almost forgot. Let's check up on rankings for the youngsters, and look at that, nothing has changed. Alpo is still ahead with 38 experience. Oh, actually, she's tied with Sunnypaw. She's tied with Sunnypaw at 38. Firepaw's got 38, guys. This is a unique situation. It's like neck and neck. All three of the siblings, guys, at this point are neck and neck. They all have 38. I don't think we've had this kind of situation in a long time. Definitely never with 3 cats. I think we've had 2 cats tie before, but nothing like this. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to come back and check after patrols in case they get split up to see who manages to get ahead of the others, if at all. This is exciting. But okay guys, let's cut the recording here and continue with patrols. Okay, we are resuming with our patrols. We currently have 36.5 prey, and we need 26.5, so we don't have to worry about food. We'll send out our Nightstalker Hazelpelt to see what he can find. More marigold would be useful, particularly with Greenleaf in full swing. The season will bring the marigold to bloom, and the flowers are just as useful as the leaves to Hazelpelt, and extremely easy to spot from a distance. Proceed. The low-growing marigold creeps across the ground. Its strange leaves that imitate fern fronds are distinct, but hard to spot from a distance. What's visible, even from across a meadow, is the explosively sunset-colored flowers. Nearby, a sharp scent indicates tansy must be growing. Tansy and marigold were gathered, and then we're going to have a patrol of 6 and 3, and I think whether or not the apprentices split are going to determine who maybe gets a leg up on the others. So... oh, I don't know what it is about Alpo. I think she's blessed. Because she's in a smaller patrol. She's probably going to have a better chance at gaining a bit more experience than the other 2. But it seems as though Shivering Star is keeping Sunnypaw very close to him, and Lightsong is doing the same. However, Burnleaf has taken a different approach and is sending his daughter out with Blue Jay and Dusty Cave to observe them. And this is going to give her a bit of independence as well, but that might be just, the thing she needs to get a leg up on his siblings. But let's send our group of 6 out along with Quiet Flight, see what they get up to. While on patrol, Master Burnleaf, notices an unfamiliar scent. Something has left scent marks on the wrong side of the border. Proceed. The scent leads to a trespassing rogue. Lightsong leaps off a rocky outcrop onto the rogue and easily overwhelms the lone cat. She accepts the rogue's surrender graciously and escorts them out of Vampire Clan territory. Now that, I definitely think, is something that would have stood out to everyone else, and hopefully served as a good example to Firepaw, that Lightsong is a capable cat, and nobody should forget that she is the Light Princess. I love that. Okay, so let's now send out Alpaw with Dusty Cave and Blue Jay and see what they get up to. Okay, so they have a similar situation, but let's see how they resolve this. While on patrol, Alpaw notices an unfamiliar scent. Something has left scent marks on the wrong side of the border. Proceed. The scent leads to a trespassing rogue. The patrol runs down the scree slope to see what's up with them, but the rogue turns and flees Vampire Clan territory. Okay, so they didn't have a chance to confront anyone because the rogue kind of, ran away. I almost wonder if it was that same rogue that Lightsong chased off that maybe came back and tried to test his luck a second time. But as soon as he saw the vampires, he remembered, Lightsong attacking him and kind of spooked and ran away. But let's go ahead, guys, and check once more to see if Alpaw is indeed ahead of her siblings. She has 42 experience, Sunnypaw and Firepaw have 39. I swear, I don't know what it is, but Lady Luck is on Alpaw's side because she ended up on, the better patrol in a lot of ways. Because she got independence in that patrol without any mentors to supervise her, she had to use, I think, her skills a little bit more, even if it didn't end in a confrontation. And currently, she's in line to be the next princess. Oh, but I mean, Sunnypaw and Firepaw are not that far behind, so they might work a little bit harder to catch up to Alpaw. We'll have to see. You never really know until like the very last moon. So in the next moon, basically we'll be finding out who is going to get the title of Prince or Princess, who's going to be the best of their batch. But okay, guys, with that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.